Welcome to Escape This Podcast, a show that's a mix between tabletop role-playing and escape room puzzles. It's like Pathfinder, except the path you're on is covered in traps and locks and doors and you need to get out. As always, our puzzle master Dani will take us through a room of her own devising, and our guest today, aside from me, is Patrick. Patrick, how you going?
Pleasure to be here.
Good, I'm glad.
No worries.
Now, I'm worried that Patrick and I will sound too similar. Why am I calling you Patrick? I've never called you Patrick.
Yeah, my name's Tim.
So Tim and I might sound too similar. If you're confused, just assume any of the good ideas were mine and any of the bad ideas were his.
I think contextually the listener will be able to understand when a new person has started talking and when the first
You
person
would think
has
so,
stopped.
but last week when it was Billy and Tess, I felt that I didn't refer to them by names enough, so even I got confused between the two of them.
The two of us. As always, we've got the room up in the show notes, which you can look at now or on, I don't know if we have a website, wherever it is. If you want to take that and do it yourself before you listen, that's really keen. Whatever time you come up with, you can check against our time. And if you beat us, you've cheated. If you don't beat us, well, that's the natural way of things.
In advance, if you do choose that path, I'm sorry. For this room, I am very sorry.
Oh, that doesn't bode well.
Yeah, that's worrying.
Well, there you go. Dani, I think we should jump right in. Do you know, or do you give us the rules? Give us the setting.
So we've got our basics, like with a normal escape room, don't break anything, that's never part of the solution. Also in this one, it's unlikely, but try not to lose anything.
I'm going to lose everything.
I'm going to break everything, so go on.
This is going to be distressing for me as well as you. There's going to be a lot of writing down. My playtesters had 3 separate pieces of paper that were almost all completely filled. And when you do certain actions, you will need to be quite specific. Always be specific. So when I say I'm sorry, the room itself, it's very reasonable. It's just the actual puzzles are a little bit more difficult than the ones from the previous rooms. I was on a bit of a reading difficult puzzles kick, so it skewed my perception of how easy or difficult things are. So not long ago, crime was rife in your city. Scammers roamed the streets during the day, gangs did the same at night, regular citizens feared for their lives whenever they set foot outside their front doors. Then came heroes. I would love to use the word superheroes, but I'm pretty sure that's Marvel copyrighted.
Hey, Marvel? Hey, Marvel. They were mega heroes.
Cool. Then came the mega heroes. This room, by the way, is known as the Lair.
Cool.
Ooh.
These mega heroes swooped in and did what any good hero should. They cleaned up this town. They took out the crooks. They made people feel safe again. Of course, with any instance of mega heroes, there comes a maniacal mega villain or two, but they only target the heroes themselves, so they're not your concern. Of the big 5 heroes who frequent your city, none is more celebrated than one known as Force of Nature, a masked vigilante with power over earthly elements. Amazing though he or she has been, Force of Nature is not without his or her detractors, of course. In fact, your area's most prominent news outlet has recently offered a staggering 7-digit reward for the identity of this caped crime stopper. At first, you weren't that interested. You had better things to do with your time than chase violent eccentrics and dress up.
I'm sorry, I have better things. There's not much more I'm afraid of than a dude who has control over the forces of nature.
Damn
It's like,
straight.
I'll get $1 million. Let's go stab him.
What is he going to, photosynthesize at us? We'll be alright.
No, he can shoot tungsten out of his fingers.
No.
Oh god, it's all of the elements.
Every element. He just goes, oh, hey man, you're made of uranium. Done.
Well, in that case, working around nature, severely limiting himself.
But look, as time passed, no one was collecting this reward. It seemed like no one could do it. And meanwhile, you guys are smart. You just started sort of picking up on things, like where they tended to show up, what direction they would fly in from, that sort of thing.
Left.
And, as more weeks went by and still nobody seemed to notice these things, you just couldn't resist anymore. You're pretty sure you've worked out where Force of Nature's lair is. Look, it might not be their permanent residence, they seem to be an international hero, but definitely their base while in town. So with that money on your mind, one evening you travel to the inconspicuous building that you believe houses the lair.
Oh, it's Incan. Alright.
Incan and spicuous.
So it's a ziggurat. He lives in a giant golden ziggurat in the middle of town.
It says Force of Nature in huge letters on top. I don't know how nobody figured this out.
Well, on the ziggurat, eventually you locate a hidden panel that reveals an elevator. You get in, it carries you down, deep down, into the belly of the Earth ziggurat.
Good.
Excellent.
It slows to a stop, and you can't help yourselves. You give a loud celebratory exclamation.
Woo!
And as soon as your voices echo through it, the elevator stops and a beeping begins.
That's a small room. Do we start in an elevator?
Well, obviously your first instinct is to try to get out, so you prise those doors open.
Hey,
it works.
hold on. Let me solve this puzzle myself.
You prise those elevator doors open and find yourself into a room.
That would be destroying something, Dani. I press the open door button.
It doesn't work. You prise the doors open.
I suffocate in the elevator.
I've already prized the doors open.
I suffocate myself.
You get out into this room. In the corner opposite you, there's a large desk.
L-shaped?
No, just rectangle. And it has on it a high-tech looking computer and a world map.
Is this an Apple or a PC?
Neither.
Ooh.
It's
It's an
completely self-made.
Oh, wow. Is it made out of like sticks and twigs and stuff?
No. It's
You
him.
haven't examined
It's
it yet,
self-made.
so-
He made it out of his own body.
Oh,
It's
gross.
him
So it's
curled
like
up.
skin.
He's just curled up on the desk
Like
going,
those Holocaust lamps.
Go on.
So, stretching along the wall beside it, there's another big desk. It's like a DIY chemistry lab. On the other side of the desk, there's a large bookcase and a small bed.
Single or double?
Single. Small bed.
Oh.
King single?
Sure.
Is it a Murphy bed where it sort of like comes out of the wall?
Definitely not.
Oh.
But then a funny feeling comes over you. In the center of the room, there's a chair with a coil of rope beside it, like it's been used for
no.
tying someone up and torturing them. On the wall closest to you is a series of 5 photos, but they're hung in less of a family memories sort of way and more of a stalkery, murdery murder way.
So not in a I'm figuring it out and I've got little strings of twine in between each photo.
No, not so much. More like very small daggers are holding them up.
Oh, all right.
That's pretty murdery.
Now, to your left is a pedestal, and sitting on it is a stationary robot hand. Just behind that, there's a trunk sort of thing. A trunk on the ground, and you suspect from the look of it that
It
it's a
came from an
weapons case.
elephant?
It's a weapons case.
Right.
And one more thing, that just beyond that, in the very corner, is a costume rack.
Oh, nice. Can I dress up like Jimmy Ragoletto?
Sadly, this is not the costume of Force of Nature.
Oh.
This is the costume of Viperion,
Ah.
the most heinous hero massacringest person this side of the planet.
Force of nature is Viperion.
Well, let's just...
I'm pretty sure you just done screwed up.
Yeah, we're in Viperion's lair.
So now you're in somewhat of a sticky situation because
okay.
you don't want to be here when Viperion returns, but you have no idea how to get the elevator working again. And, well, you might have failed in your search for Force of Nature's lair, but Viperion is an expert at disseminating the identities of heroes and tracking them down to kill them. So
Gross.
you might be able to get the information you need to still get that reward money. So what you would need for that, obviously, would be Force of Nature's real name, and maybe where they live, since clearly you failed at doing that this time. But whatever you're going to do, I would suggest you do it fast. So there are a whole bunch of things that you can look at, obviously. Go for it.
I examined the robot hand pedestal.
Yeah, what does it look like?
It's a prosthetic. You can tell that from looking at it. It's pretty impressive, but it's not as technologically up to date as those ones that look like a real hand. This is very robot-y. At the wrist of it, there are 2 small buttons. One of them is labelled neutral. The other is labelled grip/release.
Ooh.
But pressing them won't do anything because as you look at the back, you notice there's a small gap in the wiring.
I put the bit of extra wire that I had in my pocket before I came into the room.
We haven't described our character's backstories. Tim is a extra wire salesman. He walks around, that's his life.
Well, that's my alter ego. My superhero alias is Force of Nature.
Oh my god, we solved it! We solved the whole
I'm
puzzle.
playing this from the inside to discourage you from
No wonder
finding
you-
out my real identity, but I've also prepared a second fake identity, which we'll now find in this escape room. And that is, I'm putting my foot down, that is canonically what's happening
This
here.
is eye-opening for me.
Yeah.
Definitely. So the hand doesn't function.
It does not
We can't. Can we remove the hand from the pedestal?
Sure.
Is
Okay.
this robot hand just a ends of the wrist robot hand?
Yeah, it goes about halfway up the forearm.
And it's not wearable, is it?
Oh, no, it would have to be for someone who
Prosthesis.
doesn't have an arm.
See, now that to me would be a robot arm, but we can get into this off air.
No, a robot arm needs an elbow.
Huh?
Robot arm needs an elbow.
That's a great country western song.
It is not a robot arm, it has an elbow. It's just then it's just a hand on a stick.
All right.
Okay, so we
Point
know
taken.
we've got a hand, we need some extra wires.
Here's a question: does Viperion like, do we know Viperion?
Is Viperion known for having
a robe on hand?
No. However, one of the big 5 heroes is.
Oh no, this is Prostheso's hand.
Prostheso, the terrible android. Which one is that?
I told you it's Prostheso. So, okay, next we've got this weapon trunk.
Sure. You go over to it, it's locked. Viperion's a responsible weapons owner.
Is it like a key padlock?
It is a 6-letter combination code.
Christ.
6-letter. I put in weapon.
It does nothing.
Damn. Safe didn't work for the safe in the last episode.
How many letters are in Prostheso?
So what else is there in this room? Can we go check this chair in the middle?
You approach the center of the room, and as you do so, you become aware of a faint humming in the air. You reach out with one hand for the rope or the chair, and you instantly draw back in pain. Something burns you, something that you can't see. There's some kind of barrier there.
Oh my gosh.
Alright, there's a force field around the rope chair. I push Bill into the force field.
He screams, ouch, and leaps back.
Ouch.
Who screams ouch when they get hurt?
Me.
That's weird.
When I
Just
said
happened.
don't break anything, I would hope
Included
it went
each
without
other.
saying that it included each other.
I'm going to try force F in the 6-letter code lock.
Nothing happens.
Alright.
Okay, so we've got the chair. The chair is in a magical force field. Do you want to go check this computer?
Yes.
Good. We go and check this computer.
Cool. So, like stated before, Viperion's clearly designed this themselves. It's impressive, it's super modern, it's fancy, it's got a flat screen, a touch screen, it's probably got a holographic screen
I touched
somewhere
the
in
screen.
there.
I grab the robot hand and touch the screen.
Unfortunately, when you try to click anything, it just prompts you to give a password.
How many? Oh, okay.
There is a post-it note stuck to the keyboard.
Oh, come on.
Oh, what
He's a
is it?
super villain.
What does the post-it note say?
It's a very cryptic message. It says, all city dwellers forsake honor. Justice keeps losing more often. Perfect.
That's obviously some form of cipher, because I feel like a supervillain would do a better job than saying justice keeps losing more often.
No, look, it's another acronym. The password is Actifagical Mop.
You foiled it. Damn.
That's it.
I type that exact post-it note word for word into the password entry thing.
After you get to about 15 or so of those
Ooh,
letters,
see?
it just cuts off because you can't fit.
So we know the passcode's under 15 letters, so I've got us a clue.
That's a clue. That's a clue.
Which is a bit more than... It's 2.5 times the 6-letter combination lock of the weapons trunk.
This is the clue. Write it
Yeah.
down. Put it in your clue book.
Yeah.
So we check the books.
What books?
on
in
the shelf.
bookshelf.
Oh, okay, you check the bookshelf. Alright,
No
it's
books?
packed, but very neatly so. There's nothing out of place, nothing spilling out. Each shelf is completely full, except for the very top shelf. There is a single thin space between thick, fancy,
So is there a
sciencey
book
books.
missing?
Um,
Are any of these
It must be
books-
Viperion's favourite.
Are any of these books of note?
They seem to be largely chemistry-related books.
does he have a copy of Mein Kampf? He's
Not
a
that you can
supervillain.
immediately spot.
All right.
Maybe that's the favourite one that's missing.
Yeah, he reads it every night
I don't
in
think
bed.
I
We
don't
check
think it's
his
a big
bed.
book.
You check the bed.
We check his bed because I think he reads it every night in bed.
Alright, well, you don't find a book in the bed.
Under
but
his pillow?
You look around.
I lift his pillow.
It's not a very well-kept bed, so when you do that, like a couple of stray hairs fall off the pillow.
We need to be specific. I gather and collect the hairs.
Fair enough.
All right. So my inventory.
It's
I've got hairs.
you know how beds have 4 posts often?
Yes.
This one, clearly not well kept. One of the posts has completely been snapped off. It's
Oh,
nowhere
wow.
that you can see, but it's now a 3-poster bed.
Dang. That's not going to go well. So there's nothing, if I lift the mattress, there's nothing under the mattress?
Not that you can see.
If I take the sheets and I shake those sheets?
Maybe another hair or two, but...
Oh, okay.
All right.
How many have I got now? I'm gonna put 6.
6 hairs.
All right.
This is useful. Anything under the bed, if I look under with my human eyes?
On the underside of the bed, you see something written in marker. It appears to be some sort of code.
Ooh.
I bet it's less than 15 letters.
What is the code?
Well, it starts with a question mark.
Okay.
Then there is a capital F,
Mm-hmm.
another question mark,
Mm-hmm.
a capital N, a capital Y, and a capital Z.
Well, force of natures.
Yikes. So I'm presumably
question mark
we're
F,
going to...
question mark NYZ.
I'm assuming... What is this? This is 6 letters. It might be the weapon case?
No way.
It's a 6-letter code.
Nah.
But we need those question marks. I'm assuming it is not the password with the actual question mark characters as part of the password.
We should never assume I type it in, question marks and all, into the password.
Wait, you're going for the computer
password.
now?
To the computer.
Well, I assume there's not a question.
Password incorrect.
I assume there's not a question mark setting on the lock.
There is not. It's all letters.
All right.
I picked the letter that looks most like a question mark. What would you say that is? Like a Q?
Oh, a 7,
not a
but
Q.
that's not a letter.
Yeah, I'm
Maybe
going to go... No.
a Y? Maybe a Y looks like a question mark.
But then he wouldn't have put the Y in the code.
Oh, that's
so I'm going
true.
to go QFQ and
Okay, let's
YZ.
move on. We have a vague time limit.
Alright,
That being life itself.
I check the costume rack.
The costume rack. Le rack?
You go up to it. Now that you get a closer look, you see this must be Viperion's backup costume. Because clearly he's out wearing it right now.
Yeah, presumably.
It's still sturdy and all of that, but stitching is a bit crappier. It's just not as impressive as his usual one. It's made up of a chest guard, some gauntlets for the arms, a cape, and a cowl that covers the entire head. I assume it's snake themed.
Don't you dare put that costume on.
I rifle through its pockets and also the inside of like the gauntlet, the helmet, the chest piece.
Yeah, I don't put the costume on. That's a waste of time.
So the chest guard part looks like it could open up, and when you look to where the
That
right
seems
ribs are, there's
bad.
a little panel, and there's a screen there that says "Insert biological sample to activate."
I definitely don't put this costume on now. We need to go find some other bot. No, wait, stick his hair in there.
Oh yeah, I put his hair into the chest guard. I'm a genius!
You hear a satisfying click,
Yes!
and the chest of the suit swings open.
Oh my god, what's inside?
Yeah, just hair flies everywhere.
Yeah.
It's just a big bundle of hair.
I only put one of the pieces of hair in there. I've kept the
you've
other
still got
5.
There's a secret compartment inside, and it contains a slim book.
So good at this.
It's
That
called
was my idea.
I bet this is my comp. I kept the hairs. You were like, oh, that's powder.
It's called Bulletproof Books for Protective Purposes.
I immediately put the book into the missing slot in the bookcase.
You feel a momentary shudder under your fingertips, and the entire bookcase begins to swing open.
Oh, I'm so good.
It's a full-on Scooby-Doo like secret door, except you
geez,
don't pull a book to open it. You put one back in.
I momentarily make and eat a giant sandwich bigger than my body.
You find yourself staring into a vault. It's full of cabinets, cupboards, and all of them are labeled with the names of various world currencies. There's dollars, yen, rupiah, there's everything. There is one area that catches your eye. It's in a whole cupboard that's labeled francs, and there's a shelf that's empty.
I am putting down Frank as a possible first name for Force of Nature.
Frank of Nature, that's it.
What country are we in?
Australia. America.
Sure.
Australia. America.
Oh, we're in Australia. We're canonically Australian. I pocket all the Australian money.
That seems like a reasonable suggestion.
So he's probably gone to Frank.
Which is how much, roughly? Like in the Australia draw.
$20.
After this hairs thing, I'm not letting anything go.
Since Viperion is here, he doesn't want to draw too much attention in the country that he lives in, so there's
Yeah.
actually only a couple of $100.
Oh,
Are we sharing that way? Hold on, are we splitting that?
It was my idea.
I mean, if you were really going through it, you'd find the one that's got the best exchange rate.
Yeah, I take all the rest of the money.
Good luck getting scammed by the banks. Anyway, alright, so the Frank's cabinet is missing.
It's cleared out. So he's presumably, someone's gone to some kind of Frank country. What country? Oh, there's a world map.
Oh, okay.
Not that that means anything, but we need to know who used Franks.
Well, let's look at the world map. Maybe he's written something on it, like his secrets.
I use Franks here.
Yeah. I'm Viperion.
So you go to look at the map.
We go to look at the map.
Viperion has left a lot of scribbles and notes all over it. You can see that several cities have been circled. Edmonton, Canada has been circled.
Oh, they use the Frank.
Rosario, Argentina has been circled. Lyon, France has been circled.
They used the Frank. Did they? Is that where Franks were? France?
I want to think so.
Bern, Switzerland is circled.
Oh, they have Franks. Swiss Franks. Swiss Franks.
And Netanya, Israel.
So, he circled these cities. Now, Switzerland does have Swiss francs. I don't know if they still do, because they're not part of the European Union. So maybe are they? Switzerland? I thought they're part of the economic group, not the Union. I don't know. Who cares?
Israel,
future. Everything's
Israel, to my knowledge, uses the shekel. Anyway, moving on. So, I go into the bookcase and check the shekel drawer.
Yeah, what's in the shekel drawer?
There are shekels. I suggest you continue.
Yes, okay, so, hold on. So what have we got so far? We've checked the chair, it's got a force field. We've checked the hand, it doesn't turn on. We've checked the costume, which has the book in it. We've taken the book to the bookshelf. Bookshelf was opened. There's a bunch of cash, but there's no francs. Maybe it was just where he kept his hot dogs.
True.
For God's sakes, keep finding stuff.
I checked the Wieners cabinet.
We went to the world map. World map has 5 places marked off. Maybe Bern, Switzerland. I'm not sure.
What was the first one? I missed the first one.
The first one was Edmonton, Canada. Let's check out this chem lab.
The benches here look like something out of one of those crime shows where you know that they don't know anything about chemistry. There are empty conical flasks and test tubes, and there are 3 huge beakers. One of them's full of a red liquid, one a blue liquid, and one a yellow liquid.
Oh no, we're going to make purple.
Away.
I take a quick sip from the red one.
Oh, don't do this.
Believe it or not, my playtesters did the same.
Yeah.
Oh, don't do this.
It tastes foul and you regret your actions instantly.
I try the other 2.
Similar results.
All right, they're not drinks.
Mm-hmm. Red, green, yellow?
Red, blue, yellow.
Red, blue, yellow. So those are our 3 coloured conical flask containers. Anything else noteworthy in this chem lab? It's just
Not
sort of stuff.
particularly, no.
Okay. Oh, and we haven't checked out these photos. I'm going to walk over to the photos on the wall.
Sure. So there are 5 of them, stabbed to the wall a bit savagely. They're candid shots. The subjects clearly had no idea that they were being watched. And each photo is of a very different looking subject. The photo 1, it's a woman with glasses and long blonde hair.
Mm-hmm.
Second one is a man with an earring and long blonde hair.
Mm-hmm.
Photo 3 is a woman with glasses and short brown hair.
Okay.
Photo 4 is a man with short brown hair.
Mm-hmm.
And photo 5 is a woman with a necklace and long brown hair.
It feels like we're going to have to play some kind of Guess Who scenario here. We'll be like, Force of Nature doesn't have glasses, and he does have hair, but is he a woman? Who knows? Are you Michael? Oh, I win.
Let me ask the most pertinent question. These people are all white.
No.
In that case,
Unclear.
props to you. We're not clear.
Unclear. Some of them are just, they're shadowy sort of pictures.
You know those optical illusions where you take like a square that's black and then you like move it and now it looks white, now it looks black, and now it looks white, and you're like, oh wow, human eyes. Everyone in these pictures are like that.
Oh, so it's like that dress.
Yeah, there's one woman who's probably blue and white skinned.
Yeah.
But maybe she's
Yes,
yellow and
these people
black
are ethnically ambiguous, and based on the drawings that I drew in my notebook, not very human looking.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, good.
Rather pointy.
Does any of them have any physical things that may out them as a superhero, like being...
Honestly, they're not great photos. You pretty much get a bust shot.
I'm surprised I could make out the dude's earring. It must be like a hoop.
Can I quickly try just on the computer password, just put in burn? Put in burn?
Password incorrect. Now that you have attempted 3 incorrect passwords, an option for a hint comes up.
Ooh!
First off, what was the burn thing based off?
Because
The
he's
city
got
in
francs
Switzerland.
and there was Swiss francs at some point.
BERN.
Oh, yeah. What's the hint?
What's the hint?
Hint is, what's missing?
Okay, I put in
Franks.
francs.
Does not work.
I put in...
Prestisto's hand.
No,
Put
what's
in
the
his
name?
hand. Alright, go on.
What's the name of this book?
Bulletproof books and where to find them.
Okay, that's too big. That's too long. I put in bedpost. I go bedpost. Enter.
It also doesn't work. Wow, there were a lot of missing things in this room.
What else is missing? Oh, I put in wires. Enter. I
Also
put in
doesn't
wiring.
work.
Enter. I try with a capital W. I try all... No.
It
what is
warns
missing?
you that in 46 more attempts, it will lock you out.
I attempt 45.
You do not.
Right. So first off, just to, not that this strategy of shouting things isn't working. Those 5 cities are 5 photos. That could be, maybe it's the location of each of the 5 superheroes. So we got to narrow it down, and that'll be the living location of where Force of Nature lives. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
But I checked the costume rack again.
What's missing?
Look over it to see if anything could be out of place from what I know of Viperion.
No, it seems pretty standard.
I put in Viperion.
Before we walked up to the chair and got all zap,
Yes.
zap, no. Can I look at the chair? Does the chair look interesting?
It's a very splintery wooden chair.
Well,
What's missing?
he's got the 3 primary colours in chemistry flasks, but he doesn't have the 4th primary colour, so I wrote it in Schmerple.
We put in Schmerple.
So nothing we've seen so far. Just let's look at the weapons trunk, because we got something's missing. That's the
Yeah, so we can't get in. We can't see. We can't
Or
open
what's
the weapons
missing.
trunk.
No, yeah, but Nothing that we've seen so far has had anything to do with the number 6, has it?
No, we haven't had anything that's 6 related.
Except for that code. Except for that 6-letter code. Which, let's take a look at that. Frank's Netanyahu's Netanyahu.
Young Zealot. Frank Netanyahu's Young Zealot is missing. So there are 2 letters missing from that, but we don't know what they are. Oh, hold on. Yeah, we might.
Oh, do we?
How many currency things are there?
All currencies.
Okay, so that doesn't help. It's not like francs,
No, nothing
dollars,
like that.
yen, and
Zimbabwe dollars.
and Zagreb coins.
Try to think a little bit more localized. So the password for the computer will be found around the computer.
Okay, we go back to the computer.
For the bed will be found. Well, the bed is all you need for that.
The desk, the password for the bed.
The code on the bed and the password for the computer. They will be quite localized to their areas. You won't need to go to other parts of the room to find those.
Let's chill with the computer for a second.
All right, is there a cabinet to this desk when you draw?
When you look around on the underside of the desk, you find 2 buttons.
I press both buttons at the same time.
Okay, you hear the sounds of a lot of doors working. First thing you notice, the elevator door opens up again.
Woo!
We leave.
Second thing, you can't see at first where the door that slides open for this one is, but then you notice that a trapdoor has opened up in the floor just outside the elevator. Looking at it closer, you see it's definitely too deep to jump into without injuring yourselves, but you can see the bottom. There is a scrunched up piece of paper down there.
Oh no!
I
want it.
I tie all the banknotes together, attach one end to the robot hand, and use it as a fishing line.
That's probably what we need to do.
I defy you to tell me
we probably
that
need to
wouldn't
do
work.
that eventually, right? But it's not working yet.
Okay, so there's a crumpled piece of paper down there.
And money is a paw
Rope.
lowering into a whole device.
Isn't it weird that he has a button under his desk to open an elevator door? Does that mean when he needs to leave, he has to walk over to his
He
desk,
just to
press
run.
the button?
He has to sprint over.
Run
It's
over,
when he has esteemed guests and he wants to give them the greatest luxury.
That's fair.
No, it's when he pretends to be able to guess when the door's about to go. Like, he's got companies like, oh, that elevator door's going to go in 3, 2, 1, press the button, bang. Oh, I'm so good at this.
And the trapdoor is right outside the elevator?
Yes.
So, in a way
Quite
that if
fell
you're
in front of
walking
it.
out of the elevator, you walk into the trapdoor? Because that's pretty funny.
Please,
More or less.
go into the
You'd be
elevator.
a-
You're free to go.
You could walk around it, but most people probably wouldn't.
Yeah.
They would just walk and fall.
All right.
Okay.
So we got this piece of paper down there, and it's way too far to get. Okay, they were the 2 buttons underneath the desk and the computer.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing, there was that post-it note, right? That was all city dwellers forsake justice, keeps
forgot about
losing
that.
more often perfect.
Forsake honor.
Forsake
Justice
honor.
keeps losing more
Forsake
often.
honor.
Justice keeps losing more often perfect.
So something's missing.
Is there any
Is it-
punctuation in that note?
Yes, and where you would expect it to
Oh,
be. Just
damn it.
a couple
There's an
of
upside down
stops.
question mark at the front.
He's
Does that
his
mean the thing that is missing is honor? I put in honor as a keyboard because they've forsaken it. They forsook honor.
Fair enough, but doesn't work.
Is Viperion the kind of supervillain to have gadgets in his costume? Is his costume purely aesthetic? Whatever, I go over to his costume, I check it for buttons and gadgets. I check the gauntlets, I check the cowl, I check where the belt is or would be, I check the soles of the feet.
The cowl is a bit heavy. It's got a little container at the back of it where something might go in. It's got, a breath modulator, that sort of thing.
Alright, so I can open the compartment and see that there's nothing in the cowl.
It's quite a large compartment, but no, it is empty.
I put on the breath modulator, I talk like Viperion to scare Bill.
Oh, I'm so scared.
Oh, it sounds like it worked.
Unfortunately, it does not work. Your voice comes out perfectly normal. And after
I'm still scared. Whoa, oh no, it's a person.
And after a second of you putting the whole cowl on to get this voice modulator going, there's a little beep and a voice in your ear.
Oh, what does the voice say? Oh,
nice.
it's Jarvis. I say...
Hello, sir. Welcome, sir.
I say I love you in Wimbledon, Mr. Bentley.
It says, modulanium empty. Modulanium replenishment required.
I type in modulanium into the computer.
Why are there so many missing things in this room?
Modulanium empty. And please refill modulanium. That's what it said. Modulanium. Come
Shit,
on.
how do you make
Viperion.
modulanium?
Well, clearly the colours that we make through the combination of liquid matters. Yeah, we've got to assume.
Yes, I would assume so. If we have colours to combine, it probably matters what the colours are.
Okay, so...
We still don't know what's missing. We go back to this computer desk. We look at the map. Is there any country missing from the world map?
Nope, it's a normal world map.
Are there any cities missing from the world map?
Nope.
I go based on my knowledge of roads.
Focus on the post-it.
I look
so
at
what is this?
So this is the poster. All city dwellers forsake honor. Justice keeps losing more often.
Again, I apologize. These puzzles are not easy.
Oh.
Is it written just like you'd write something on a piece of paper? The writing isn't like it's not like each word is on its own line, like an acrostic poem.
It is not like that. You could try writing it like that and see what happens, if anything.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it's letters of the alphabet with bits missing. It's A, C, D, F, H, J, K, L, M, O, P.
Oh, nice. So we're missing B.
What are we missing? We're missing B, E, G, I, N, begin. I write begin into the computer.
The computer loads up.
Yeah.
There is virtually nothing on the desktop. There are just 2 icons. One of them says ShivTech, and one of them says Heroes.
I open ShivTech.
It prompts you to enter another password.
I back out of ShivTech and I go to Heroes.
When you open the Heroes one, it gives you a huge text document.
All right. I will read this out for the edification of our listeners. Of my 5 greatest enemies, only force of nature eludes me, but that will change very soon. Nobody has ever unmasked the Big 5 before, and certainly nobody's killed one, let alone 4. It's taken time and endless deductive reasoning, but I was more than capable, and I relish in the memories. As I reminisce, a few thoughts in particular stand out. Jane Ewing was my first kill. Far easier than I expected killing a hero to be. Even with those thick glasses, she didn't see my ambush. Jane Ewing has thick glasses.
Buddy, I'm all over this. Keep going.
Pure Platinum, the one with power over metal, should have gotten a haircut. Long hair made grabbing her all the easier. While searching for force of nature, I learned they were blonde, unlike that Sam Howitz fellow. I actually found myself coming to respect Taylor Prescott. Why? No needless jewellery. It's idiotic what some heroes wear. I remember when I learned that Sam Howitz was the Vulcan vigilante who controlled fire. It was an exciting moment. Before then, I thought he was the Hurricane Master or the Frostbite Phantom, and that Maxwell Martin was Vulcan. Ho ho, what a fool I was. And of course, there was the moment I killed Avery Lee. Oh, I'll never forget it. Then, at long last... but I won't write any more here. I doubt anyone will ever read this document, but I'm not foolish enough to risk it. I won't let anyone use my genius to procure that silly reward.
So, Viperians from, what, Cardiff?
Oh no, they're Australian. That's my Australian accent.
I did kind of lose my track there. I think Taylor Prescott is the name of Force of Nature.
Why?
Because we've got 2 guys. Only.
You don't know Force of Nature's a guy.
Of those 5 people. Oh, that's true. Does Force of Nature seem like a guy from what we know of them?
Very unclear. They hide it well.
Ah, okay. Jane Ewing. Your next person name is Sam Howitz.
Sam Horowitz. Next.
Taylor Prescott.
All right.
My
Taylor
current theory
Lautner.
for
next.
Avery Lee.
Avery Truffleman.
Oh, no, wait, sorry. Maxwell Martin.
Avery Truffleman and
Maxwell
Smart.
Who's Avery Truffleman?
I think a producer for 99% Invisible.
Jeez.
Okay, now we also have the heroes. Who are the hero names?
FON.
We got
Force Meister.
Fon.
We've got Pure Platinum. Vulcan Vigilante. Hurricane Master.
All right, we got Hurricane Katrina. Is that insensitive? No, probably not.
And?
Frostbite Phantom.
Frosty Frost. I didn't come up with a good name for that one. Not that I came up with a good
name.
name.
Yeah, you didn't really, yeah.
Then we got 5 pictures. So we've got the woman with glasses and long brown hair. We've got the man with an earring and long brown hair. We've got the woman with glasses.
Those were both blonde hair, I'm pretty sure.
They were both blonde. Sorry, blonde. Yeah. We've got a woman with glasses and short brown hair.
Was it specified that it was short?
Yep. We've got a man with nothing except for short brown hair. And we've got a woman with... I put an N. Necklace? Does she have a necklace?
Yeah, necklace.
Necklace and long brown hair. And then I'm just going to re-put these hero names. Cool. So, what do we know about love?
Jane Ewing has thick glasses.
So she cannot be the man. She can't be this man, and she can't be the woman without glasses.
Mm-hmm. Pure platinum.
Yep.
Should have gotten a haircut, implying they had long hair, and is a woman. Force of nature is blonde. Sam Howard's is not blonde.
Which means as well, Sam Howard isn't force of nature.
Taylor Prescott is without an earring.
Okay, so Taylor Prescott...
And presumably a man.
Yeah, that's true.
Unless was Taylor intended as a unisex name?
Yes.
So Sam Howard's... because Sam Howard has to be the man with short brown hair.
Sam Howard's is the Vulcan vigilante.
Sam Howard is the Vulcan vigilante?
Yeah.
Cool. I'm getting this done.
Yeah. Maxwell Martin, you can obviously cross out all the women.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Presumably.
A woman? Okay, cool. So we know who Maxwell Martin is. Maxwell Martin is the earring man with long brown hair.
Blonde.
Long blonde hair.
Is there anything else we can rule out from there? Stuff we can rule
I
out.
was just saying, looking at the grid, I can see something.
Yes. Oh, good. So nobody else can be the woman with long brown hair and the necklace, so that is Avery Lee.
I can't believe all these people are dead.
Only force of nature are Force
of nature is still...
So we know who's not dead. So we know that force of nature can't be Jane Ewing, because Jane Ewing is dead.
And can't be Avery Lee.
Which I already knew. So force of nature is... So right now they're either Taylor Prescott or Maxwell Martin.
I think you've got all you.
I think we've got everything we can get out of this. Okay, good. I will keep these on hand for later, and we are back into the game.
I type in about 10 random passwords into shiv.exe or whatever that was called.
So we're just trying to see if it'll give us a hint.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to see
that one? No, that one
okay,
doesn't do anything. Fair enough.
Yeah, I can see otherwise. I type the password into... all right. Now, looking back at that code, that doesn't really line up with any of the names.
But there might be more stuff by the bed, apparently. It's all in that sort of an area. So let's head back over to the bed.
Yes.
This code we found, this $F$NYZ,
yes,
was underneath the bed.
It was written on the underside of the bed.
There's nothing else like on the walls or the ceiling above the bed?
No, the only really other noticeable thing, besides all the hair that you picked up off the pillow, was
there any more hair left?
There are only 3 bedposts.
I pushed the bed over with my super strength that I've been hiding.
Yeah, because you're force of nature. We knew this.
And look at the base of each bedpost.
Yeah, they don't seem remarkable.
Do the other posts come out?
No.
Have we
There
seen
are 3 of them.
anything post-like? I go back to the murder photos. I take out the daggers holding each photo.
Okay, now we have the photos all splayed on the ground, but we have 5 daggers.
They're not particularly functional. They don't look like they do much more than hold up a photo in a wall.
Alright, so the code. So we're back at the bed.
There are 2 question marks.
Yeah.
I just thought, in case anyone had forgotten at home.
Question mark
Anyone who's
F,
following
question
along
mark
at home.
NYZ. F? New York City. I
mean, clearly this doesn't spell something.
I search inside the pillowcase. Did we already do that?
No.
There is nothing there.
I search inside
You have everything that you could have for this.
Okay.
Really? I don't think I have anything. She's a bedpost. I knock on the bedpost. And does it go, G, 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 G?
You have everything.
Alright, so we've got question mark F, question mark
You just have to solve
NYZ,
it.
and we know that there's a missing post on the bed. But there's 6 things. There's 6
Okay,
sequences.
let's rather than look, let's see if there's a way of interpreting F and N and Y and Z.
Could be one of those ones where they're the opposite letters of the alphabet. Like a Z and an A. We're not... Alright. I'm getting I have an inherent feeling that that's not the answer.
Front, north, young and Zohan. Yeah, nonsense words stuck together.
If I put that
Is
into...
it an existing cipher?
No, God, no. And there is actually no maths involved.
I expressed hatred for something that was about the geometric creation of these letters. So an F is 3 strokes, an N is 3 strokes, a Y is 2 strokes,
1, 2,
and a Z
3.
is 3 strokes.
Oh.
I noticed that you both draw your Ys the same way I draw my Ys.
Which is
2
strokes.
strokes.
Not the same way that a computer draws a Y.
How does a computer draw a Y? These are all capital, aren't they?
Like that? So it's 3
Oh,
strokes?
1, 2, 3. Ah, okay.
You see my dilemma.
So they all have 3 strokes then?
3, 3, 3, 3. So, what
That
other
is-
letters have 3 strokes?
Okay, A does.
A. Are there only 2 others?
Then let's presumably they have to be straight, right? Because otherwise B...
H.
H. Okay, A and H. We go to the weapons chest, and we put in A, F, H, N, Y, Z.
The lock pops off and you swing the door open.
Yes! Geometric letters.
Thank God you hate those geometric letter codes.
Oh, I hate geometric letters. All right.
There were 3 bedposts. 3.
Oh, yeah, okay. That's sort of a hint.
Inside, there's a lot of space for weapons, but it's almost completely empty at the moment, almost like Viperian's off using them. The only thing left is an aerosol can, labelled Instant Fog.
Spray it. Spray it.
Be more specific.
I spray it at the chair so we can see the laser lines and duck between them. I go, pshh.
I eat some of the Instant Fog.
No, let's appreciate some good radio. Look at that sound quality.
Listen to that Foley work.
Oh, Foley work.
You've been going for about an hour. Fog fills the air in front of you. As it spreads towards the chair in the middle of the room, you notice flickering red lights are starting to become visible. It reveals the lasers surrounding the chair in a cage formation. They're shimmering, burning vertical bars from ceiling to floor, roughly a hand's width separating each one.
Are there any missing that I could snonk through?
About a hand's width between each one.
Hand's width. I slide the robot hand through the bars.
Okay, can I reach through with my hand?
Yeah.
Like this, Foley work.
Yeah.
To grab the rope and go...
You have to move very slowly and carefully, but your arm fits through and you can maneuver the rope out.
We're gonna get the paper. At this point, could I tie the rope? Is the rope long enough to reach the bottom of the trap?
Yes, it is.
All right, tie me up. Drop me down.
All right, I tie him up and drop him down.
That is not going to work. It's not going to have that sort of hold.
I grab one of the empty beakers from the chem lab, affix it to the end of the rope, and attempt to scoop up.
it? That's going to be pretty hard.
It doesn't quite work. It's a fair idea, but...
We need that grabby hand on a rope.
We've got the grab release one. All right, so we need to find the wire.
A bit of wiring.
A bit of wire.
Is there anything around the chem lab section that we could use?
I'm going off that, stay where you are thing. I just checked the pedestal.
No, the pedestal is unremarkable.
I kicked the pedestal.
However, there are still somewhere that you haven't really looked at.
What have we looked at?
Desk.
The bed, the desk we've looked at. The bookshelf. We haven't checked the elevator. We go into the elevator. And I rip the panel control off the wall.
So that beeping is still going. The beeping that started. No, it's angry beeping.
Sorry. Beep, beep, beep.
But apart from that, the inside is like an ordinary elevator. It just has a ground and a basement button. It's got, we can only hold this much weight before the lift stops working. I don't know, a couple of tons.
All right, so I'm good with the money.
It's got one of those boxes where it's got an emergency phone.
I open the emergency phone box.
Unfortunately, the phone wire has been cut, but there is a piece of wire sitting loose at the bottom of the box.
I take that wire from the box. Kind of put it in the glove.
All right, the fingers in the glove twitch to life for a second.
I press the open and close forever button.
It makes the fingers ball up into a fist, and then several seconds later, it starts to slowly open. Then several seconds later, does that again.
That still, to me, seems like a terrible thing for a prosthetic to...
It's not top of the line, I grant you.
It was a $20 prosthetic from the local prosthetic store.
I push Bill aside perilously close to the lasers, tie the hand to the rope while it's still in grab mode, and grab that piece of paper.
Alright, the rope is long enough that the hand comfortably reaches down to the bottom of the hole. Fingers grab the piece of paper, you hurriedly pull the rope up.
As I'm pulling it up, I slip and drop the rope and hand into the chapter.
No! She said don't lose things!
Right.
The piece of paper as you unfurl it is as follows.
Oh no. This is the shutdown password for your ShivTech computer laser system. Please memorize after reading and discard this letter for security purposes. Your password is scrambled below. NHIRERG.
I was going to read it out phonetically. But...
Nahireg.
Alright, that's good.
So that's a scrambled password.
Alright.
We've got to anagram that banagram. Banagram is a swear word in the anagram community.
Duh.
It means... Right. What is it? Let me write it out.
NHIRERG.
Yep. Okay. It could be...
I typed Reggie Hen. Like a royal chicken.
Does not seem to help.
Alright. Yeah, I didn't say what I typed it into my phone.
I think this is a fake clue. Because I've unscrambled it to the word herring.
Are you sure it's not Reggie Hen? Well,
unless there's some other scrambling. I'll just check first. I'm going to go to the shiv and try and put in herring.
It doesn't work.
But herring
Herring.
is a anagram. Okay.
It's a fake clue. It unscrambles to herring. It's a trick.
I've wasted so much time and been given a fake clue. Is really just going to take all the momentum out of me.
Maybe that's his name. Maybe it says, your clue is scrambled below.
Oh.
Reg.
Well, was anyone's name an anagram with herring? I type in the word red.
No, that does not work.
Okay.
What's another word for herring?
Fish. I mean, why do we even want to shut off the laser? It's an old chair. So I pointedly tear up the piece of paper.
No, don't tear it up.
So what was it in the weapons trunk again?
Just the can of instant fog.
Nothing else.
Nah.
Come on, dude. Get some
he
weapons.
took all. He's clearly taken them out. He's on a killing spree right now.
I pour the red stuff. I'm still going off red herring as word association. I pour the red stuff alone into the modulanium. It doesn't work.
It does not work. Okay. What are you doing right now, Billy?
Trying to think of other unscramblings of it. Or is it just herring? I think it's just herring. Why would you do this to us?
All right.
Okay, what else can we do with a
piece of paper? Oh, hold on. There's a typo here.
What?
Shutdown. This is the shutdown password. Is that a mistake?
Oh, that's just an actual typo.
What?
You put an M instead of an N at the end of shutdown.
Okay, so what else is interesting about that piece of paper?
Shiv Tech.
You're right.
Shiv Tech.
Computer laser system.
Computer laser system.
Please memorize after reading and discard this letter for security purposes. Your password is... I type in scrambled below.
Oh!
The buzzing in the air is silent.
Yeah.
You turned the lasers off.
Oh, no.
He didn't create it.
Well, then
that was the one Shiv Tech gave him.
A writer struck me worded a letter to Shiv Tech on the back of the map that I'll take with me when we go. All right, so we turn off the lasers, right?
Yep.
All right. I go and sit in the chair.
You do so. It creaks.
Oh, I get spooked. All right.
Flip the chair. Flip it.
Yeah.
On the underside, you see there is a message scratched into the wood.
Boy, he sure likes putting things on the undersides of things, doesn't he?
This one says...
Oh, gee, he really scratched this.
He's gone for now, but he'll be back to finish me off at any moment. It's all over for me, but I'm writing this with my earring. It's my earring. There's no silent H at the start of that word. Just in case Force of Nature is trapped here after I'm gone. Force of Nature, I'm warning you. This Viperion is serious business. He's killed all the others, my wind power was useless against him, and I can see pure Platinum's hand over there like a sick trophy. If you somehow get out of this laser cage, to make the elevator work, you need to go inside and say the name of his last victim. I guess that'll be me. But it has to be said in his voice. That's the only thing that triggers it. Good luck. The world needs you.
Alright, so...
We need some more stuff.
Things that hit me straight up. Whoever wrote this, the guy with the earring is Hurricane Master.
Why is the guy with the earring Hurricane Master?
Because he said wind power.
Oh, this person has the earring and they have wind power, so they must be Hurricane Master. Okay, so Hurricane Master will be the earring dude. We know who the earring dude is. The earring dude is Maxwell Martin.
So Maxwell Martin is the Hurricane Master.
I guess so. Let's assume this.
And you can cross that
And isn't, because we know that, we already knew that now,
Oh.
even without this, because it's not Force of Nature, who they're addressing, and it's not the Fresh Prince, or Frostbite Phantom. Okay, we didn't know that.
Probably not the Fresh Prince.
Oh, we know who Force of Nature is.
Oh, great.
Taylor Prescott.
Taylor Prescott.
Taylor Prescott is Force of Nature. We solved it. Taylor Prescott is Force of Nature.
So now all we need to do is find their address, and then we can leave once we figure out how to get the elevator to go by stealing the breath modulator, etc.
Maxwell Martin is the hairy man, Hurricane Master. Maxwell Martin has the earring.
Solving any further is just for your own satisfaction.
Well, yeah, let's do it.
Force of Nature is a woman with glasses and long brown hair.
Blonde.
Long blonde hair. Cool.
All right, so we've got the name. We've got one half
Jane
of the...
Ewing is a woman with glasses and short brown hair.
That's great. So the last thing we need to find out...
Jane Ewing is Frostbite Phantom.
So the last thing we need to find out...
Pure Platinum. Avery Lee is Prostheso. Avery Lee is a woman with a neck and long brown hair.
Excellent. Well
Great.
done.
We know everybody! We've solved all crimes. That's $1 billion. That's $1 billion.
All right,
for solving everything.
The next thing we need to do is find out where they lived. Their home, their address, rather.
Oh, we know. We can just look that up at the city archives.
Okay. Are we good? Can we leave? All right.
Well, we need to find
You
a way
need to
out.
get out.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Now, what was that?
So,
we know how to make the elevator work. We need
you
to
need to
go
go
in.
inside and say the name of his last victim. I guess that'll be me.
Yep, Maxwell Martin.
But it has to be said in his voice. That's the only thing.
So
that
we need to
triggers it.
fix the modulation.
I go over to the chem desk and check the underside.
This one is clean. Maybe a bit of gum, but
Anything written on any of the lab equipment?
nah, it's
We've
very normal.
just got... The only thing really of note is these 3 vials.
Yeah.
All right. I get a couple of clean conical flasks. And I just
Sure.
try and do a blue and a red in one, a blue and a yellow,
I mean,
red and a yellow.
yeah, sure, they mix, but you don't even know what modulanium is, so how do you know how close you are to getting
Yeah, it
this
might
right?
be a metal for all we know.
All right.
How do we find out? I go back. There are books about chemistry on the bookshelf. I go back to the bookshelf and I look if anything's like Modulanium and Me by Viperion.
Very close. You find one on the bottom shelf that is called Modulanium, the secret to modulating your own success. There's a gold liquid on the front, and the first chapter is all about extracting pure liquid modulanium from its natural compound.
All right.
You scan the pages, and obviously, being a chemistry genius, you understand them, and you simplify it for your companion. Basically, you'll need 1 cup of red liquid, 2 cups of orange, and 1 cup of green.
I ask you to simplify it further.
Okay. 2 cups will be red. So that's fine. No mixing involved.
Mm-hmm.
I take something that has enough capacity for all these cups, and I put in 2 cups worth of red.
Okay.
Done. Then what we needed was...
Green and orange.
Okay. We've set the 2 reds aside. To get an orange, I'm going to...
No, I've got 1 cup red, 2 cups orange, 1 cup green.
Cool. I put in 1 cup of red.
Mm-hmm.
That's done. Okay. We need 1 cup red, 2 cups orange, 2 cups green?
1 cup
One
green.
1 cup green. 1 cup of red is easy. Red goes in, bang, that's to the side. Orange, we need to take 1 cup of red, 1 cup of yellow, mix those together separately. That gives us 2 cups of orange. Stick that baby into the jar.
Mm-hmm.
Then we need
1
cup of green. Green is
Blue and yellow.
blue and yellow. So we take 1 cup of the blue.
Mm-hmm.
No, we take half a cup of the blue. I don't know what measuring implements I have, but half a cup
You
of
have
blue,
cup measures.
half a cup of yellow, chuck them together. Then I got green, put it in. Got modulanium. What do I need to do next?
Well, through the miracle of science, the mixture shines bright gold, just like the cover of the modulanium book.
Sweet. We go back to that modulanium mask and we go blip, 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 and we just fill it with modulanium, and we do the cap, put the cap back on.
It's remarkable that it could fit this many cups of liquid in it,
We don't
but
need to put
it
it all
manages.
in there, and then we put it on your head.
The mask is alive with power now. The sound of your breath comes out deep and intimidating. And if you speak, the modulated voice of Viperion echoes through the room.
I say quotes from Star Wars.
Fair enough.
Which are? Be specific.
My playtesters also did this.
I say, Misa Jaja!
It comes out extra terrifying.
Anyway, I then walk into the elevator
Jaja.
and I scream at the top of my lungs, raw and bloody, Maxwell Martin.
Which sounds
I'm
like...
gonna need a demonstration.
Misa Maxwell! Misa Maxwell Martin!
The angry beeping in the elevator stops. For a second, there's total silence. Then a deep rumbling shakes the elevator into action, and before you know it, you're back at street level. You're free from Viperion's clutches. However, you probably can't say the same for Force of Nature. Viperion's gone with their money and their weapons, and they know the identity of all of the heroes, 4 of which they've already killed. You may be able to go and get your reward for identifying her, but if she turns up dead tomorrow, it may not be much good. They may not be so inclined to do it. So maybe you can also help her in some way.
Let's
Find
run to the
some
police.
way
Let's say, police,
to fix this.
give us a reward quickly because we know that Force of Nature is Taylor Prescott, but also she's in trouble. Let's go. And then we all jump into their police cars and their tanks because it's America now, and they have like mad cool police tanks, and we go and we fight Viperion.
Where are you going?
I don't do any of that.
Burn. We're going to burn.
I don't do any of that. I run into the town square and I start doing embarrassing things in Viperion's costume, ruining his public image.
love it.
I get the police to all go to burn together whether he needed his franks. We go to burn.
As the police tend to do.
The police all fly to burn.
You run into an Interpol agent.
And we save Taylor Prescott.
I imagine that you managed to save Taylor Prescott by revealing her identity to the world.
Hey, Taylor Prescott. Hey, sorry, Taylor. Can I just... I saved your life. Get out of here.
So, well done, you self-serving monsters.
I'm also going to get $1 million. I'm going to get $1 million.
Viperion is horribly humiliated.
Yeah, nice. I didn't do any of that stuff. You ruined it for everyone.
Well, congratulations. We did it.
You want to know what my playtesters did? My playtesters found Taylor Prescott on Facebook and alerted her there.
What losers?
And
That seems like a Lex-
then blackmailed her for life afterwards.
That seems like it's missing a certain sense of urgency when someone's gone
it's
to
like,
kill you.
Who answers Facebook messages? To be like, sorry, fighting crime. Oh, I'm dead. Hashtag dead. All right, congratulations, we did it.
Well done, you finally made your way out.
All right.
Is that as brutal as I promised it was?
Yeah, that was more difficult. I liked it. Logic puzzle I haven't done in a long time, so that was nice. It was really fun. How did you like it, Tim?
Your password is scrambled below. That's...
Oh, that was great. That worked out really well. I don't know what our
sure
time was in the end. I still never timed them. I go back and I time them in the
because
past.
of all the pauses to write things down, you may have to...
I'm sure it comes out to about 8 minutes of edited material.
Yeah, now audience at home, you'll only hear about 8 minutes. That room, it took us like an hour and a half.
68 minutes and 38 seconds.
That was great. Thank you for coming on and doing that. I think that was really fun.
Oh, on Facebook or Whooshka, look up The Comfy Hour, which is my podcast / Surge radio program.
Generally,
Yeah.
it's probably a bit more graceful to wait for me to ask you about that. Otherwise, it seems like you're just jumping
Bill,
in.
do you have anything you'd like to plug?
Yes, I do, actually. My brother, Patrick, he has a podcast called The Comfy Hour, which is also a Surge radio show. If you're in, I don't know how...
9 to 10 a.m. Thursday, go on to Surge FM, click listen.
Now, if I remember correctly, I think it's 9 to 10 a.m. on Thursdays. If you go to Surge Radio website, and you can click listen and listen into that. Otherwise, you can find it on Whooshka if you go to Whooshka/shows/The Comfy Hour.
Yeah, and The Comfy Hour is like hyphens in between it.
Yeah, you should listen to it, Tim. You'd really like it. Pat's a pretty cool guy when he's on those episodes.
So all that's left now is the hints for what next week's episode
Yeah,
is
Dani,
going
give us
to
a
be.
preview.
The next week's room includes a lot of mirrors and a kitchen that is barely used.
You made it through the bad times, you made it through the good. You always knew you could.